Hello loves, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be putting together an epic Middle Eastern breakfast. I'm also going to be giving a cheese Borek recipe and mini Zaatar Manouche recipe, which is super easy to make, and I think you guys will really love it. Here is some of the stuff I got from the market, which are essentials to making an epic Lebanese breakfast. This is my dough recipe. I did the dough the day before, putting everything together. So it's 2 cups all-purpose flour, 150 milliliters warm water, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of dried yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and lastly 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Put the yeast and the oil into the warm water and mix it really well until the yeast is dissolved into the water. Once you're done mixing, go ahead and pour the yeast and water into the flour mixture and begin mixing really well with a wooden spoon. I figured it would be much easier to start mixing with my hands, so in a little bit you'll see that I start doing that, and it did actually help much better. I also did, a little bit later into the video, put a little bit of olive oil into my hands while mixing. It really brought the dough together. Knead the dough really well. And this is when I had the olive oil in my hands. That's why the dough looks so much better. So after I'm done with that, I put the dough into a perfect circle and I place it into a little bowl, which, by the way, I wouldn't recommend this. I would recommend a much bigger bowl that I had put it in because my dough ended up rising a lot. Here is my cheese mixture. I used Kawi cheese, some dried mint, and red pepper. I put about 2.5 of these cheeses into my bowl. With a knife, as you can see, I started cutting it into little pieces. And then I got half an onion and I started pouring it into my cheese mix. Then I threw in some red pepper and my dried mint. And this isn't the standard way of doing this. Usually people put it with parsley, but to be honest, I had gone to the market and I got cilantro instead of the parsley, so I thought I didn't want to go back to the market, so I thought I would make my own mix, and it turned out really well. And this is my Zaatar mix. So for my Zaatar mix, I just use Jordanian Zaatar, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil into the mix. So these ones I just put aside, so when I wake up tomorrow morning and my dough is really well risen, I can start putting these into my dough, and you'll see how I shape the dough and stuff right now. So this is the morning after. I have my Zaatar out, I have my cheese out, everything is all ready in front of me. Back there I have some sesame seeds because when I do the cheese bereks, I'm gonna end up putting some egg yolk on the cheese bereks, And I'm gonna throw those sesame seeds on there.
HY Productions.
With my hands, I'm just pressing down the dough, and I'm gonna put some flour all over the table so it doesn't stick. I'm gonna put some on the dough and then some on my kneading utensil. What do you call this? Oh boy, I don't even know what the name is. Kneading utensil. Yeah, I'm gonna get laughed at for saying that, I know already. Make your dough as thin as possible. It's gonna give a little crunch to the Boreks and the Zaatar Manouche. So I get a cup and I start making like little circles. This is such an easy way to do it. It's really quick. Once they're all ready, I start putting in my cheese mix. I made a couple of long ones just for like to have some with different shapes, to have some bigger pieces. And put a good amount of cheese in there. Don't be afraid. The more cheese, the better. So I just then pick them up and start pinching the sides closed.
HY Productions.
And then this is the most satisfying part. Get a tiny fork and then just give a little design to the ends of the Borek. And then don't freak out if it's not all perfect, guys, if they're not the same shape and stuff. It's gonna go in the oven. It's not gonna look like what it is anyway. So I get my egg yolk, just the egg yolk, and then I start putting it on top of the Borek so that it gives it some color, and then I could put the sesame seeds onto the Borek. Here I'm just pouring the sesame seeds into my hand and I'm gonna sprinkle them on with my finger. The finishing touches. Now the easy part, just putting my Zaatar mix onto the other little circles of dough with the spoon, the easiest way, obviously. And then just like I did with the Boreks, I'm getting the tiny fork and giving this a little design too. This is just an extra step for design. You don't have to do that. These are the final results. I'm gonna put them in the oven 10 minutes, 12 minutes max, because the dough was so thin. And then here I'm just putting all the side appetizers. My husband's in the back cutting some greens, tomatoes. I'm putting in the olives. Yeah, he had to open it for me, per usual. And then, of course, no Middle Eastern breakfast meze is complete without some lebne. And this is so satisfying. On the lebne, we put some red pepper. We use Aleppo peppers and then dried mint. Of course, my husband is giving it a design. And then some olive oil poured on the top. I also put a cheese plate together, and I did sujuk and eggs and some fool, which you will see in a little bit. There is the sujuk and eggs. That was my cheese plate. Bunch of the appetizers. You can see the Borek and the Manouche in the back. That was the fool. I could show you guys how to make fool in a different video if you're interested. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, share it, and thank you guys so much for watching.